Welcome to this week's episode of School Code. My name is Kiana, and this is my co-host Brianna, and we have a special treat for those viewers today, don't we, Brianna?
We sure do. This week we traveled to Framingham, Massachusetts to visit Framingham State University.
While at Framingham State, we interviewed many students to see how they felt about campus.
Let's jump right into the show by seeing how the students felt about the location.
Conveniency, because I think it's in a prime spot. I think there's a lot of places on Route 9.
My apartment is across the street from a liquor store, a bar, and a tanning salon, so I think that's very convenient.
But I would say just being close to Boston, the mall, there's literally a ton of things. The train station, you can get just about anywhere you need to go or get to anything you just about need to get to. Well, other than the liquor stores and the bars, basically like the convenience of going out to get food, movies, is basically anything that people our age would normally go out and do. It's basically on Route 9.
Guess if you're into working with clay, you got Plaster Fun Time up the street. It's good stuff. What else we got? Domino's, takes Ram Cash now. Ooh.
A walk around the mall.
Sports Pub next to the Econo Lodge does make a mean barbecue chicken pizza though. If you're looking for that.
The waterfall's nice to go for a little nature walk, enjoy nature for a few minutes.
So they got bars, movie theaters, and the mall in a short distance from your campus. What more could you ask for?
I know, right? So many places to go and shop around here for students. My favorite restaurant is Uno's. They have fabulous food. What's your favorite place to go, Brianna?
My personal favorite is the mall, and they even have the movie theater's AMC right next to it.
If only they had places to park around here.
Let's take a look about what they have to say about parking.
Parking is horrible. There is not a single good thing about it. You can never find parking. Last year when I commuted, you'd have to drive around for 10 minutes at least in Maynard to find parking, and you had to try and beat people out for it. I usually leave an hour before class. The beginning of the semester, I left at 8:30 for my 11:30 because it was ridiculous. The parking situation, but it's gotten a lot better.
If you want to get a spot, you have to be a really good student and show up at least a half hour early to your class, especially if it's 8:30. I know if I show up at 8:30, I'm probably at the park, another parking lot away, and I'm probably going to be another 20 minutes late to class, so.
You're just driving around in circles waiting for that one person to luckily make their move, and then you put your blinker on or somebody just cuts you off and there you go.
It's kind of like playing musical cars. You gotta stalk people in the parking lot to get their spot.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
I think the price of parking is ridiculous. Dropping $500 to park for a semester. Definitely uncalled for.
Well, it seems like that's a thumbs down for parking.
I wouldn't want to wake up even earlier just for an 8:30 class to find a parking spot.
I know, right? That's such a bummer. I thought waking up for this show at 8 was early.
Seriously, I'm just a little shocked because parking miles away from campus doesn't seem safe, especially late at night.
I agree, but the school and the surrounding areas seem pretty safe to me.
Well, on that note, let's see what they have to say about safety on campus.
It's really good too that our doors are locked and they can't be open unless you have the right ID for the right building.
Right, and I work with a lot of I work on campus, so I know a lot of the campus police too, and a lot of them are great people too, and they do their job very well.
I feel very safe on campus. It's great that it's a small campus and there's a good amount of cruises, so if anything actually does happen that's serious, it's going to be a quick response, so never had to really worry too much about that. I like that there's a lot of police call boxes around.
Campus is pretty safe. I can walk around, do whatever I really want, and I don't have to worry about getting robbed.
Quick alert system is good too, with sending out texts and emails on the spot.
Yeah, I got a text.
Keeps you informed,
Got a text.
lets you know what's going on, even if it's not something serious. Sometimes people will worry, but with that, it kind of answers all questions and keeps things in check and in perspective.
All right, so let's recap. We talked about location.
Great location, and we also have talked about parking.
Not as good. And safety.
Which is good. Well, we only have covered a few topics so far, but we have plenty more to go.
After the commercial break, we'll see how the students feel about food, professors, and the internet. So stay tuned.
Hello, ladies. Does your man look like me? No, but he could smell like me. Imagine if your man smelled like me. Look down, look up. Where are you? You're on the edge of space with me in complete tranquility. Close your eyes. Open them. You're deep sea scuba diving for baby seahorses on the ocean floor. You see, when your man smells like the fresh scents of Old Spice, he smells like the greatest man on the universe besides me. I'm on a pyramid.
School Code, I'm Brianna.
And I'm Kiana.
And this week we're visiting Framingham State University.
So far, we've heard about how the students feel about the location of the school, the parking situations, and the safety around campus.
Next up, we asked the students how they feel about the dining options around here. So let's see just what they have to say about that.
I can't even express how annoying it is that they close at the most unfortunate times. Finding a table, you just don't.
Once you get your food, if you get your food, you have to find a seat, which is even harder than getting your food.
The calf. A lot to say about the calf. Toby Rock and Edith. Two bright spots, I'd say. And Carlos is a good too. Food, definitely sub-mediocre. A lot of diarrhea ensues. Not for me personally, but I've heard stories. Just really busy all the time. Can't get anywhere. Just rude elbowing. It's not fun. Bright spot chicken nugget day though, but even that's been downhill this year.
Generally, you have to go as soon as you wake up just to get a spot. I have to say my favorite employee is definitely Edith.
Shout out to Edith.
Having to wait for tables is the worst.
Yeah, I know, but Edith seems like a bright spot for Joe and Kyle.
Doesn't seem like Joe's having a good experience with the food though.
All right, well, it's come time in our show where we have to introduce the last two topics.
Let's check out how the students feel about the professors.
Favorite professor would be Masad. She's just like really nice, really helpful.
I think that it's awesome. I am in psychology, so I have a professor, Dr. Dias, who I think is probably the best professor, teacher, anything, mentor, anything that I've ever had.
Projo's my favorite professor, Professor Johnson.
Favorite professor, I had her last year for my intro to psych class, and she was a really nice professor in my house. She was awesome.
I would say I give a shout out to the whole comm department. I mean, they do a great job.
Professor Harrison's a really good guy. He makes the class fun, as well as Vivek Carr. He's a good teacher.
But I definitely have to say my favorite teacher has to be Professor Bichet. She's just crazy.
I have to say my favorite professor is probably Carl Hackinson. He's just an old school flower child, tells it like it is. He's a nice guy.
Well, it's about that time to introduce the last topic. Would you like to do the honors, Brianna?
I sure would. Let's see how the internet is around here.
I use a school computer. It's a piece of crap. Sent it back. I had to get a different one. Oh yeah, we threw it down the stairs, actually. Lived on campus. We would go like off campus to some place that had Wi-Fi, so that way we could register for classes and actually get onto the server. And
I have my own computer. I don't think I would ever take the risk of using a school computer. The internet sucks. You don't get internet. I don't care where it is. I don't care where on campus you are. You don't get the internet.
I have my own computer, and the internet is like, no matter really what time of day, it's really hard to get on it. And then like sometimes it's so slow, like snail pace.
When I'm registering for classes or trying to do something important, that's when you really realize that the internet's not fast enough. And I don't know if it's the computer or the internet, but they're both from the school, so.
Yeah, I have a school computer too, and I've had to get it wiped clean many a time just so I can try and struggle through homework on the terrible Wi-Fi.
Well, that's all, folks.
Tune in next week. That's not what we're supposed to say.
The Framingham State chapter is closed.
Bye.
School code!
That was so funny. I didn't know.